Hello! How are you, Stitch Roadies? Welcome. I'm in a new spot. I'm in the music room, surrounded by guitars, concertina, ukuleles, banjo, string banjo, cigar boxes, and dulcimers. Did I say that already? I just needed a peaceful spot because today has been kind of a cluster already. But I'm sitting here looking out at this beautiful tree that Cheryl, stitching with the Sisterly's husband, Ed, who is a tree guy, came and trimmed up. And it is so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. But we had to have it trimmed away from the gutters on our house because the leaves were just making the gutter back up. So yeah, I needed deep breath in, deep breath out. Lots to share today, not in any particular order. It was, yesterday was Whip Wednesday at Acorns and Threads. And unbeknownst to me, it was going to be an epic one. You know, I intend to go there just to kind of slow my life down, stitch with stitchy friends. But oh, was it amazing! It was packed. We all needed the same thing, but I lucked out because I have. If you don't know about my peculiar personality, let me just say this is a station about cross stitch. Yeah, and but I do have some peculiarities, and I am an early arriver. I I will be the first one at the party. I'll be the nerd that arrives an hour before the party starts. And with these stitching events, part of it is that I need to feel the room. I don't know if any of you are like this. I need to feel the room and see where I'm going to be the most comfortable sitting. Yeah, I sit in the back row in the movie theaters. I think we've discussed this before, that there are just certain patterns of my life that if I break them, I am not relaxed. So I arrive early. But what that meant by arriving early, let me just see if I can find this. Oh yeah, was that I was number one. And you say number one? Like what? Number one stitcher? Maybe. But I was the first one to get the exclusive from Acorns and Threads and Hands Across the Sea. Oh my gosh, was it like a moment. It was a moment. I almost could hear that Miss America theme song that was coming. And I bought the kit because I wanted the little freebie thing that came with the kit. And so here she is, Hands Across the Sea. Portland is the Rose City because not only do we have a spectacular rose garden, which if you ever come to Portland, you must visit. Just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But roses grow well here. Even myself, who is not that great of a gardener, can grow roses. And I just knew as soon as I saw this last year when Nicola brought it to the attic, a picture of it to the attic in Mesa, Arizona, I looked at Janine and I said, Rose City, yeah. But it is so beautiful. And because I was, I was feeling kind of smug, when I ordered it, I had chosen the 40 count tabby cat linen by Just the Ticket. I decided to buy the kit. You can buy just the pattern. If you have all kinds of floss and fabric, you can do that. But I'm kind of a kit person. And I asked Janine what was her favorite silk thread, and she said it was, right now for her, it was Soie d'Alger. And I've never used it. And so I'm always a person who wants to try something at least once. Yeah, at least once. Then I can say I did it. And so I got the pack of Soie d'Alger that goes for it. And if you order the kit, then you get this little freebie of it printed on fabric, which I am tempted to make it into, I think Corey, who is the bag maker at Acorns and Threads, made it into a pincushion, but I'm thinking maybe I'll try my hand at a bag. So there you go. Yeah, very exciting. Very exciting. And very exciting to be number one. Who doesn't want to be number one? No particular order. I think I just sucked the oxygen out of this room just now. But no particular order. I do have a busy day today. I'm hoping that I get this all my babbling in before I have to leave. We are picking up our youngest grandson, and we are picking up a food cart lunch, and we're heading across the river to have lunch and spend time with our older son, whose birthday is in another week and a half or so, but because of schedule issues, we aren't able to see him. And on his birthday, and his wife's birthday was last month, and schedules precluded because they are both shift workers, and so they work these 12-hour long night shifts, and just for us to get together is like an act of Congress. So we're taking advantage today, taking birthday presents all over, hanging out with our youngest grandson, and yeah, because our youngest grandson, his brother is going to be with his mom going to a back-to-school event today. Yeah, it's that time. The bus drivers have been practicing in the neighborhood. Okay, no particular order. I have a finish. And it is on 40 count. I feel so smug. 40 count Seraphim old stationery with called for colors. The problem is that I don't have a chart, because Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery charted this for me. I had asked her, could you chart this for me? And she was lovely and did it, and it's for my anniversary. I'm going to take a picture of it before I personalize it. I'm not sure if she's going to release this pattern. My chart does have a copyright thing on it, so I want to ask her first. But here it is, all done. I made it. It was my designated stitch. Yeah, it happened. Yeah. And I think right down here, right under here, I'm going to put our initials and the year we were married. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to frame it, because the frame I thought I might use might be a little too small. But yeah, that, I don't want to get it all wrinkled after I ironed it so well. I know I've been on the bandwagon and on a soapbox, but the designated stitch has been a game changer for me. Not having a busy mind and a busy life, knowing that I have to not make a decision in the evening when everything is, kitchen's cleaned up, we're upstairs I'm in my stitchy chair. G is in his chair looking at his laptop, and we got the TV on, that I know already what I'm going to be stitching. It's, and so now that that designated stitch is done, we are moving on to Vulcan calligraphy. And so tonight, that's what I will be stitching on. And it is barely started, but a couple people that I know, including Stitchy Witch 42, Audrey, said it was a really quick stitch. It wasn't very fast, it wasn't real hard. And this is on an even weave, 28 count silver fox. So I suspect that I shall be tooting my horn, not anything else, in a couple weeks maybe. What else we got here going? I need to take a photograph, and I will show you at a future date. But I did finish, this is from Fat Quarter Shop. I was doing skeleton soiree, although I did it on orange fabric, and where the orange threads are is purple for me. And I have to take a few photographs and send it to the Fat Quarter Shop, because they will be releasing them each month. Oh, there's a crow looking around for something to eat. Oh, he's a big one. Maybe that's a raven. He is huge. Oh, okay. Yeah, the windows in this house are like giant movie screens. He's got to be a raven, because that is too big to be a crow. Either that or he's the king of the crows. What's really amazing about them is that they have really good eyesight and hearing, and we can't even get near our back door and they'll all scatter. But he doesn't know I'm sitting up here staring at him. Oh, where was I? Okay, Halloween Memories book. Very much worth having. There's just so many cute pillows, Halloween pillows. And it also has a ton of quilts. I mean, so for my future Halloween quilting, and really the quilts in here, even though they're in this Halloween book and they're Halloween colors, you can make those patterns out of any color you wanted, and they are really nice. I did not get a whole lot of work on Connie's birthday sale, which was but a lot of people have been finishing it. This is stunning. Cottage garden sampling. And let's see, I want to hold that correctly, like that. That's where I'm at. It has been fun to look on Instagram at other people who've finished and fully finished theirs. Some of the fully finishing has been spectacular. Next is, Book of Days. I have not made giant leaps in my Book of Days, this part of it where you check off. See, there's only one checked off. But I have 3 days left of this month. Yeah, 3 days left to be able to check off maybe something else. I did so far have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starts. I know next year I'm going to have to refigure this, because the colors, I'm having to buy new packs of stars because I'm using up the color that I designated for the starts. Yeah, red stars. I've had 2 FFOs, which was great because last month I had none, and I I had two finishes. And one of my finishes is for a smalls exchange for Pinwith, which is the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit that is literally coming up in a couple of weeks. I am so excited, really excited, because it's nothing but a good time. People that you don't get to see in person, but once a year at this, it's like a big giant floss party. We need a floss dance. I'm going to have to talk to Janine about choreographing a floss dance. Yeah, maybe Teresa Kogut and Beth Twist should do a floss dance. Someone tell them. I'm sure at this time of year they have no time to be watching FlossTube, but someone tell them they need to figure out a floss dance. So far, the one thing I have been able to check off on my book of days is stitching on my Halloween stitch. And that Halloween stitch was this tiny modernist Halloween calendar. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to be done for this Halloween, so it's going to be next Halloween. I already kind of know how I'm going to finish it, but what I have done, and this makes it so much more pleasurable for me, is I am doing the grid, the next row of grid, and I am going to get that done here in the next week, and then I will just every month march across with a day. Yeah. Or two, a day or two. Yeah, so I love this. I love this. I was hoping that I could get it done for this Halloween, but doesn't look like it. Looks like it'll be next. And I at least at this point think I'm going to make it into a hanging quilt. Yeah. Oh, one more start. I know I talked in the last FlossTube, and I cannot remember what I said. And this does not have anything to do with my age. It has everything to do with that I just don't. I read an article that you can only keep 3 pieces of information in your brain at any one time. And so I figured the fact that I know my husband's name and my 2 sons' names already 100%. I'm doing good. So everything else just kind of leaks out. But I said I was going to start this for some reason in September, either the full moon or the first day of fall or something like that. But I couldn't stop myself. I went ahead and made the outside grid. Yeah. I think I was going to take this, now that we're here together, I think I was going to take this to the Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit and have this as something that I work on. Yeah, I think that's what I meant. Yeah, no one's the boss of me. Yeah. Okay. I intended yesterday was epic. Epic because, like I said, it was a full Whip Wednesday, but it wasn't just filled with the regulars, and I'm telling you, I love my regulars, but there were people who hadn't come in like since last year, and everyone's busy. Life, I get, is busy, but it was so amazing to see Michelle from Bendy Stitches, Erin from 2 Martini Stitches, these floss tubers that I had not seen for quite a while in person. Now, I watched their floss tubes, but I've not seen them in person. And Erin takes the train down from Washington, from the Seattle area, I think it is, and then Ubers it over to Acorns and Threads from the train station. it was like a surreal moment. And if you're on Instagram with me, I actually posted a picture from several years ago when I first met the floss tubers. I had no clue what a floss tuber was. I had been YouTubing quilting videos for years before that, but in the quilting world, there's no heading moniker for quilting YouTubes. It's just quilting YouTubes. You have to kind of find them under quilting. But cross stitch is, it's like a family in terms of that if you type in floss tube, you're going to get a whole bunch of people talking about cross stitch. It was mind-boggling to me the first time I went to Acorns and Threads for a meetup, and Marion the librarian, you know, I was just like, what is floss tube? And I was sitting next to Erin, Two Martini Stitcher, and she was kind of trying to explain and stitch all the things, and oh, it was so special. And so to have that surreal moment yesterday where it felt like time had rolled back to this really sweet pre-pandemic moment. And luckily I still had a photograph of that, of a lot of us that had gathered that day. And then I took one yesterday. Yeah. But Natalie, who was stitching on, I don't know what it was she was stitching on, but it was really pretty, and she would pass it around. She's been doing this for a while. Pass around, and you'd stitch one little square. I must have ripped that square out 3 times. I couldn't believe it. But I didn't get much of my own stitching done because I was talking too much. I mean, it was more fun to talk. Let me just say, it was more fun to connect. And even, I mean, look at this. Debbie, who came to visit Acorns and Threads, and isn't even a cross stitcher. She's a Sue Spargo stitcher. She gave me these little gifts. It was, and boy, am I going to need this for my soie d'Alger, you know. And then this is going to be my 56 count needle holder. That's going to be my 56 count needle holder. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. But what I had brought to stitch on, are you keeping up? I mean, I don't know what medication would help you keep up with me. I'm so sorry. But what I had brought to stitch on, I had started stitching, and then Margaret did some stitching on it for me. She was there working, but then when she'd take a break, she'd stitch on it for me. And this is, you know, the little minis that Margaret and Julie and I are doing, and they made them into boxes. I still haven't decided, although I did order my chipboard from Amazon, medium duty chipboard, and that came yesterday. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to finish them. I'm not going to do any finishing until I get them all done. But this was this month's, August, and I have 3 days left to get it totally done. I'm going to work really hard to get that done so I can move on to September without any guilt or remorse. Yeah. Okay. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. I was trying to work on a project yesterday, and I had some video. Oh, now there's 2 crows. No, those have got to be ravens. There's 2 of them, and they are giant. They are giant. Those are bigger than Cheryl's dog, Lady. They are just huge. What the heck is he pulling out of the grass? I don't know. We have crane flies that lay larvae in the grass that can kill your grass. So we like it when the birds just dig around and just rip those little worms out. Yes. So I was stitching on something yesterday, and I realized that I was very anxious and very, I don't know, I wasn't feeling like emotionally happy. Here I was in the beehive working on something, and I wasn't feeling, and it was because in the background on my laptop was playing some video, not a floss tube video, some like Netflix thing that was making me crazy. I don't even know what it was. But I thought, I need to stop having that as my background noise. So I put in my very favorite CD. I am a big fan of Imagine Dragon. I like that band. I have no remorse or apology for liking that band. They are my band. And so I stuck that CD, opened the windows, and cranked that sucker up and was so happy and got so much done. And when I finished, I was so much happier. So I went and ordered their newest CD, and it arrived. Loom. I'm here to tell you, figure out that thing that makes you want to boogie in your sewing space. Just figure it out, because just like that, my whole attitude changed and I felt so good. Yeah. So just figure it out for yourself. Last couple things are, let's see. Well, 3 things. Let's see, how much time do we have? Ooh, we only have 5 minutes. So the last few things are that I was talking to Michelle Bendy and Erin Two Martini Stitcher on when people show the back of their, or actually it was Natalie who was, let me think about this. I'm going to grab something like this. Okay, looking at this, how they count their stitches, I found out that Natalie does it on her phone. She just, I'm looking. Yeah. So, using my Notions app, I don't have a Notions app, but using my Notions app, I've done 1 million stitches on this. This is like 100 count. You see? It's like 100 count. Yeah. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah. I don't even have a Notions app. I don't even know how. I can't even count. Oh, there's a squirrel now. Wow, it's like a menagerie out there. It's kind of windy. It's sunny, but windy. Before we go to haul, I just have to say, I keep this list from Judith. She's the ex-stitching librarian. And she had a whole list of what her favorite books were. And about half of them I've read before, but I requested, this one I had not read before, and it is The Last Christmas in Paris. And so I'm going to be starting that. I'm currently in the middle of Vera Wong, Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. It is written by Jessie Sertanto, who is a Chinese-Indonesian author. And so it's very ethnic. I have been laughing out loud. It's very cultural and ethnic in its narrative. So it wouldn't be maybe someone who never, I can't imagine that someone wouldn't have known a mother like this, that this isn't just in our Asian community. But I was laughing so hard because, yeah, yeah, some of that, it wasn't totally, but some of that was like, oh yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that. So I would recommend that. And then I'm going to be starting that new one, Last Christmas in Paris. Thank you, Judith. Now we are to the best part of this floss tube, and that is the haul episode, the haul chapter. I'm getting a hall pass for the haul chapter. Just saying. I saw this at Acorns and Threads and nearly died. Yes, I love red. I think I look good in red. But this book was amazing. And all of the things. Can you imagine that on 56 count? And then because there was so much of this laying around it, I decided I needed some Gloriana. Yeah, yes, Gloriana for Stitches in Red, designed by Brenda Keyes. Yes. And because if you go out of the stitching room into the shop, like if the bathroom in the stitching room is being used and then you have to walk into the shop to use the bathroom in the shop, it's dangerous. Somehow a song came into my head, but I'm not much of a singer, so. But I saw this too. Oh yeah, I saw this too, and I had to have it. Art of Designs. For my ocean room. Yes, yes. Thank you for being influenced by my friends on the internet. Cottage Garden, Fabulous House number 8, the Lighthouse. Picked up my stocking jewels for a shepherd's bush charms that I am going to be starting a new stocking. And then Cherie was stitching this most beautiful series, and she was stitching it all on one piece of fabric. I don't know if I have a photograph of it. I'm going to look really quickly. I know G's probably waiting down there and saying, we have to go. She was stitching this whole series of houses on one piece of fabric, but I just fell in love with this one, and so she gifted it to me. It was so sweet. Beekeeper's House. But she was stitching it on a blue background, so all the houses in that series are on one big piece of fabric. It was fabulous. But I like this kind of blue, ever so slightly blue background. Everything just kind of popped off of it. So I'm going to copy. Copy, copy, copy. There is no one keeping score on who's copying who on Floss Tube. That's it. I made it. Now I gotta go to the bathroom, run downstairs, jump in the car, go with G to get our youngest grandchild, and have a spectacular rest of the day. I hope you guys are having a great day too. Stitchy friends are the best. And you know, I love you guys.